What's up, everybody? Podcast time.
What up?
Hey.
Time. 2:20. You need to know that.
I have some randos in here with me today.
Yes.
We have Samantha, who went from never want to be on a podcast to now she's on them all the time.
Yes.
Johnny and Christy, who are OGs of the podcast. Johnny and Simeon wrote a song together on a podcast.
Oh, please don't.
It's called
That
Mommy
needs to
Come
be
Get
deleted
Me. You
if
can
it's
check it
not.
out on Spotify.
Is it on Spotify?
No, it's not
Oh,
Spotify.
man.
No
Johnny.
shot.
It
No
is on
shot,
somebody's
no
hard
shot.
drive somewhere, hopefully.
And then, of course, my wonderful wife. And
And you.
Yeah, and me. One of the things that we get, people say about us a lot is, or to me a lot, maybe they don't say it to you. Maybe to y'all they say, I don't know how you work on that staff, I'm terrified. Is that what people say to y'all?
No.
Nope.
Nope. No.
No? Okay, good. Only Christy. But I think,
She didn't even answer. She said,
I think one of the things that I get a lot is, man, I love your staff culture. I love things that y'all fight for that isn't common in other places. What is it, Sim, you've been around here a long time. What's the thing, 10 years, almost 10 years,
Over 10.
over 10 years. What's the thing that you're like, when I got here and it was just three of us, to today, you still see remnants of things that have been a part of our staff culture since then, 10 years later?
I mean, there's a bunch. I think one thing that I've always enjoyed is that we, spend time together every day around the lunch table. That's something that we've always done. I mean, Maddie would come to, when she didn't work at the church and worked at Air Mechanical, she would come in and we'd all have lunch together, or, y'all would go grab lunch, and then we would come back and, hang out in the conference room. That's one of the things. There's always been just an element of family friendship atmosphere that you've tried to maintain, and that we've kind of carried throughout, all the years. I was 22 when I moved here, when I came on staff.
you were a baby.
I was a baby,
Yeah.
it was my first real job. I always say that, And so for me, like, I needed a boss. I needed a pastor, but I also needed friends, and family, because my family was 4 or 5 hours away.
Yep.
And so that's what we became, and naturally, like, y'all just kind of brought me in, and now 10 years later, you've brought all of us into that place,
Yep.
And each uniquely in their own way, which is really cool that you've just allowed, not everybody needs family. Some people have family around, but there's other people that desperately need that in their life. And
Chris, you were at the school.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, you were at, let's say T-Mobile, AT&T. What was it? AT&T.
Added to unit.
Samantha teaching dance, Happy Feet, all the things that you were doing. Maddie at Lakewood, Air Mechanical, the bank for a couple days. So,
Yeah, just a couple.
so what is, like, we'll start with you, Christy, like, the difference between a school staff and a church staff is what?
Well, I'll say that the first school I worked at before moving here, I worked there for 6 years, and they had incredible, like, family camaraderie. They worked really hard to kind of protect that there, keep morale high, but they were also, like, just a core group of Christians that kind of held that mold together. But there were things that were definitely like the separation of church and state. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, there were things we just couldn't do. If you wanted to have prayer, sure, have that before and after school times. There might be secret prayer meetings, you'd have in the workroom with somebody if you saw them. But as far as, like, what's different about here than other schools that I've visited or been at or been a part of or stepped into, it's just the atmosphere. Like, you can just feel like, man, people love you when you come here versus working at a school where, you try to smile at everybody as you walk past them in the hallway, but that's not always reciprocated to you.
What about you, Samantha?
When I was at the GYN office, it was way different. It's not a family. You clock in, you clock out. You don't sit together at lunch. You don't you don't really have any sort of relationship outside of we work together.
Yeah.
But my last 2 jobs, when I was doing soccer and dance, it was like Gary from Happy Feet really valued me as a person, which was cool. But there was no staff. Like, it was just us.
Yeah.
Him as my boss and then me
Yeah.
starting this thing up. And then in dance, we had the freedom to, like, pray before competitions and stuff like that. And we spent so much time together, but it was always work related. Whereas here, like, we'll hang out outside of this. Like, hey, we're going to the beach. Let's all come.
Maddie took all of the girls recently. I say took. You didn't pay for it all, but you did help do some special things for them while they went. Gave them a gift card and paid for their lightning lane and things of that nature. So you took all of the girls. Becca didn't go, her choice.
Right.
From staff to Disney for a kamikaze trip up there and back. And we all went to, maybe you didn't go, maybe it was just me and you and a couple other people. We went to dinner one night, and me and you were like, I hope they understand this isn't normal.
Yeah.
Like, not going to Disney, but like,
Let's say that's normal.
like yeah, that's normal. But like,
For you.
but like the relationship with each other of, I want to go spend 39 hours together and be miserable walking around
And
feet
stay
hurt.
in joining rooms.
all
and,
of
you
y'all
know.
That was
Po-
fun.
Yeah,
It was
two
so fun.
rooms where, I don't know, 12, 13 of you were piled in together in 2 rooms,
And it was drama free.
drama free.
Yeah.
It
the
really
best time.
was.
I
It
mean,
was
there's
great.
people, and the reason we were talking about it is there's people that we know that work at a staff or with a staff that they don't even talk to each other at church.
Right.
Like,
That's so weird.
they don't have relationships with people. They don't have conversations. Like, it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
And so for y'all to be able to do that, much less it be drama free.
And
Yeah.
come
You
back
know?
and still be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Which I was
that's-
worried about. I was nervous about it.
You were so nervous.
There's some personality.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
yeah, I was a little nervous in the beginning. Like, I sent a little text and said, hey, listen, we're all adults.
Yeah.
We're going to, sleeping situations, it's
Yeah.
not for any certain reason. I mean, there was a few that were certain reasons. My daughters, I mean, like, I know how they are. I love them.
Sure.
But there's some people that they just get along with better, and to
Sure.
Yeah.
keep them from making
Plow
me,
You good.
Yeah.
Keep going.
but, I was like, we're all adults. Who cares where we're sitting on the plane? Who cares, whatever? And and once we got into it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be fine. This is good.
I don't think I was worried. I think
Oh, I was. I talked to my therapist about it. I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
But you also
Oh,
had the
man.
different pressure than we did. We were just going on a
Yeah.
trip. You were planning everything.
Oh, yeah.
You were the one, the
Yeah.
glue that had to keep everybody together because you had, planned it all. So there was different pressure on you, but
I have not been as an adult, but I've heard that Disney nowadays is a different monster anyhow. So
She's a monster.
if you don't know how to navigate the monster that is
She's a
Disney,
monster.
like
Yeah.
I feel like that pressure alone would give me
Yeah.
a panic attack.
the thing that
And
I was
trying to
worried
get
about
to
was
every
just
park.
it's exhausting.
It
Like
is
to do
exhausting.
that
It's
much
exhausting.
in one. I thought everyone's gonna be tired by the end of the day. Like I just kept praying that everyone would just keep morale high, even when your like feet are yelling at you. Why are you doing this?
Exhausting.
You have chub rub.
You
or
you already
any
have
of that.
you already have left late, so you're staying late. You're staying up to watch this. You're running from here to there. You're not sleeping well because you're sleeping. You're sharing beds with somebody, or you're sleeping on the couch or whatever. And so it's already miserable. There's already all of the reasons why it's miserable. I'm sure somebody was snoring and keeping people awake.
I didn't
All
hear
of those things.
You did good, girl.
So you have all of those things, but to have the comfortability with each other enough to be able to say, I want to go spend 40 hours with you nonstop, and not just I want to spend it with you, but I want all of us to spend it together, is something really cool that I don't think
Special.
a lot of, I'll say church staffs for sure, a lot of any staffs have that.
Families.
Right, a lot of families don't have that sort
Yeah.
of, that sort of thought.
And ladies, you know what I mean? Like, ladies are catty.
Catty.
We can be catty about things, but it was like, I felt like it was such a good bonding experience trip. Like, Christy was up at 4:00 in the morning watching her
Yeah, I
in
didn't
the middle of
sleep
the night. She
well,
didn't
but I
sleep
mean,
well at
I had the
all.
best time. It didn't matter to
Yeah.
me.
But
Just
who
excited.
We love
cares?
that.
You didn't sleep
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
It's
that's what the
Disney.
composite trip
Yeah.
is. Rachel was like, we woke up and Rachel's dressed and like doing her mobility stretches on the floor in the dark.
Of course she
And
is.
I like
Mm-hmm.
creeped up to her and tried to get in her face to scare her. And like, you know, I mean, I think we had a great time. It was fun.
Bing, whenever you were at AT&T,
Yeah.
Bing, bing.
you had good, healthy family relationships, or just like, hey, just how you doing? Good to see you type stuff. Did y'all ever do anything fun together as a team?
I think there were certain people who had relationships outside of it. I was not one of them, simply because we didn't have the same worldview
Sure.
/ values or convictions,
Sure.
and so I wasn't going to be a part of some of their social habits.
Totally get it.
And so we never interacted. For me personally, I never interacted with anyone outside of the work field. Now, I was really good friends with everyone, who was there. As far as I wasn't
Acquaintances.
we were
Yeah,
acquaintances.
sure.
We got along that way. But it was team driven. We were trying to set the goals for the store. Okay, if you're not doing your job, we're gonna have a conversation. Of course, like any other job, but it was more about that. It wasn't about, there wasn't any like-mindedness,
Yeah.
at least from my side of things, with some of the more convictional things that probably kept me from interacting with those
Yep.
to that
For sure.
level. So it was almost, there was a cutoff point.
Recently,
in a relationship.
the past month around here, we've done a few different things. I don't know if it's been a month. It's been somewhere around there. Well, past month, we've done a couple of unique things around here that we probably haven't done. Definitely in y'all came on very similar time. Definitely not in y'all's time. We've never done anything like that.
Me and Samantha came on around the same time.
And Christy was right around there, but she had to wait till the school year to end or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
and so recently we did two things. It's very unique. One, we spent a week where we just set up tables in our auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody brought their own work chair and their own, their laptop or whatever in there, and we spent the entire day, the entire week, working around this table together. And it was, hey, we're gonna care for some people for the next hour. Let's go. Here's what that looks like. Let's go. Let's start caring. We're gonna fix this calendar issue that we have. Who's got issues? Let's fix it. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. And in my head, you're thinking everybody's calendar is synced. Everybody knows what they're doing. And you get to that moment and you find out no wonder people don't know whenever they, they're supposed to do the devotion each morning because they're not set up to the calendar. So, anyways, little things like that where we spent a week sitting around a table together, all 25 of us, talking through all the things, working through all the things, and just working together all week long. And we walked away from that week, and the overwhelming response was, when are we going to do this again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can't wait to just sit around and work together all week long again. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been pushing for this for years.
Yeah. I mean, I just like the idea of all of us working together on certain things. And there's a lot of times where things that I need to get done requires a conversation with somebody who's on the other side of the business office, or undoubtedly somebody's got a question for me and we need to work on the computer together. And it would just be easier if, they can come, talk to me about it and we can sit and work together right there. Or just, one of the impactful things for me was hearing us go through each person's story. Each day we had a few different people give their stories during that time. And so to be able to have those moments together, we have spiritual moments with each other every day, but to go to the personal place where they're sharing what's going on in their life, what God's done for them, it was something cool to be a part of. And so the practical side, the office side of let's get work done together, but then also the spiritual side of doing life that way.
And we do spiritual side every day.
Yeah.
Some form or fashion.
Yeah.
At the same time, every day we come together and do a prayer time of some sort. Like Thursday morning, we're on stage worshiping together. through the set for Sunday.
Right.
Wednesday we sit in silence for 20 minutes. Tuesday is just kind of wander and music blasting, and we just pray. Monday we're praying for the needs of the staff, particularly things that are that have been given to us, or maybe things that are burdening us. And so you're spending time in prayer together, spiritual time together every single day. But those times where it's like Sim had his guitar out during those times, and we're just worshiping together, and we're like, all right, share your story. And then to hear some of those stories was gut-wrenching for some of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was when my son shared his, it was like,
Yeah.
tears.
Yeah.
You missed that one, remember?
That was sick.
Sick. It was good though. It was good. So sitting around a table talking, working together, and then recently, last week, 2 weeks ago, we did Staff Olympics, where we split up into 3 different teams, and we had every day we did stupid stuff, Pictionary and Bible drill and
What was it?
Flunkerton and different fun little unique games. One day in the middle of the day, we just said, all right, everybody meet out at in the parking lot at 11. We loaded up in the vans and we went into did an escape room together where every team was locked in an escape room. And we did what else? What was the other thing that was? Did we go somewhere else?
We did some
We did
Bible
mini
thing.
golf.
Oh, we did mini golf around here. That was we set it up throughout all the
Custom
Draw your
course.
sword.
yeah Bible drill. Ready, draw swords, and again, just another one of those times of team building, camaraderie, and there were some tense moments, but I got to the end of it, and we were sitting around at our ice cream party at the end, like we're a bunch of little kids in T-ball, having our ice cream party at the end, and hearing everybody talk about moments of the day, like Carson yelling at, Irvin to dive into the baptismal to get y'all's clue, whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
Those run, Christy, and those moments where, like, people are going to talk about that for a long time to come. Moments inside of teams that were fun and team building, and Scott throwing up, seeing how many Reese cups he could fit in his mouth, and Kent fit 2 and thought there's no way they can fit more than 3. And then they were on like Reese Cup 9, and we ran out of Reese Cups because she didn't think there was any possible way for them to shove that many in their mouth. They sure did. They sure did. But stuff like that's probably not normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll speak to this. I know it's not normal. We went to visit a church one time, and the way that their church building is set up, their offices for their staff, and they're a rather large church. It's split on 2 separate areas. Maybe like the next gen and the worship's on one side, and like, admins and the creative teams on another side. So it was just separated. And when we were doing a tour of the church, whether they were joking or not, we came out of one set of offices from the people who were giving the tour, and they said, oh, that side over there, we won't even tour that side. That's the dark side. That's the boring, like, we don't really talk to them. We never eat lunch with them or anything. And they thought it was so crazy that our church got together, our staff, and, like, eats lunch together. They're like, you do? No way. That's so weird. Like, they just don't interact with each other as much as we do here.
And it's not like we buy lunch every day and everybody's forced to eat. It's like,
No.
hey,
We're eating at
12:30,
this
we're
time.
eating,
Yeah.
let's go.
Who wants to
Like, we
join?
actually
Bring your
enjoy each other,
lunch.
want to hang out, and they thought
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah, it's so weird that, wait.
Y'all like each other?
I remember when Olivia came to work here, and she was like,
I can't do that.
I'm not going to eat lunch with y'all. I can't do
I
that.
can't.
Not a
can't do that.
chance. And now I hear her in there yelling
She's one
at
of the
Simeon.
first
She's
people
like,
in there every
When's
day.
lunch? Hurry, I'm ready. And she's like, first one in there, last one to leave. Like, enjoying the relational side of it.
Yeah.
Would have, like, again, something that we've been doing for 10 years, but it's something that I remember when Kimberly came on staff here, and Tony's not one that he doesn't come eat with us. He is the dark side that doesn't want to.
We don't say that about
No,
him.
but he's that guy. You know what I mean? It's just
But his
is
choice,
what it is.
not that he's exiled.
But I remember
Right.
when Kimberly came on
That
here
is
and I
his choice.
said, Tony doesn't come eat with us, but it's a really cool, culturally impactful time together. And I mean, I think she does sometimes and sometimes she doesn't, but I think it's just something that Irvin, who hasn't been connected to the church for 15 years, he's only been here a year and a half. He's one that, when's lunch, I'm going to be a part of this
Yeah.
cultural time because I want to connect with you guys.
Yeah.
And I think it's shown some of the relational things that conversations that we've had with Irvin, that we all love him now, and he's a brother to us
Yeah.
now. That probably wouldn't have come if it weren't for those moments of breaking bread. And I think there's something spiritual about breaking bread. I really do. I think there's something spiritual about that moment of hospitality and vulnerability, and anyways, I think it's something special. So yeah, what else? This is not good podcasting to
I was
just sit
about
here
to say.
quietly.
They could play little like bird sounds and us just kind of looking around.
I mean,
if they wanted to.
if you want to talk about lunch, I would say there's no telling what happens in a lunchroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
we tried
that's
to play spike ball. Remember
Yeah.
we tried to do spike
I mean,
ball?
you can. I mean,
Lunch is so valuable to us that even during sacred season when we're fasting lunch, we
all
all
sit
just sit
together.
around the table together.
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Or even that people like, some people are fasting during certain times for certain things,
Yeah.
but they still
They
come
still
and just
come.
sit
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
and just hang out and
Yeah.
talk.
But it's
And
not
if
just
you've
be a
ever
part of it.
fasted and been around people while they're eating and you're fasting,
It's hard.
it's got to be really good time
Cheeto
Yeah.
to not miss out
Yeah.
because you're fasting, but you still want to come be a
Right.
part of it.
Watching
Like,
And it's,
Everyone
and
else
it's not
eat.
just it's not just lunchtime.
yeah,
It's my kid's birthday, and they go, "Who are we inviting?" And they go, "The staff and the family." That is who they want to invite over to our house for their birthday.
Yeah.
That's
It's
us too. Like creating John DeHaven's birthday, the first thing we think of is like obviously family, but staff.
Yep.
That is family here, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's WrestleMania night at the house. Who are we inviting? Hey, staff. We're
Staff.
doing this WrestleMania thing at the house. Come over. Like
Yeah.
it literally is. This is our family. This is what we do. We do life together, and it's not. It's so much. I don't know. Like people say that, and I don't think they believe what they say. Maybe, or maybe doing life together looks differently to everybody. But truly, I think we do life together. I think this is what we do. We are a part of each other's lives, whether it's going out to eat Sunday after church, or Wednesday night after whatever meeting you have, or going golfing together, or going to Disney together, whatever it may be. There's a sense of, I want to be together. I want to be with those, going to the beach together. I want to be with those people. And I think that's really unique and really cool. I also think that creates some tension sometimes, like when Joseph and Irvin went and had tacos on the back of a truck. And they didn't invite me to have tacos.
Yeah, or
The girls went to the beach without
Christy
you,
and
didn't
Haley
invite
and
you.
Angie all were at the same beach.
I
and
think
See
it
how
creates some
I'm always
tension.
the one that's like, hey, let's go to the beach. And they didn't
We'll
say
talk
that
to our
me.
therapist about it. Well, it's okay.
Hurt my
But I love how
feelings.
people recently have been posting like, "Hey, this got canceled for us.
Yeah.
We're going to the movies,"
Mhm.
and just
I
puts it
love
in the
that,
staff
yeah.
chat like, "Whoever wants to come join us," or like, "Hey, we're going to get ice cream." Like Rachel put in there one
I didn't
time.
even know Rachel went and got ice cream.
I ain't know Rachel got ice cream
It's
either.
in Slack. It depends on if you got it
Check
open, if you get
Slack.
the message.
True.
Or not.
Yeah.
I hate Slack.
It's on our
Sorry.
checklist. Check
That
it.
was random.
Cut that out.
Okay, Connor.
Cut that out.
Delete that. What did he say? Delete that? Cut that? I can't remember.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Like Johnny.
Blooper.
So, anyways,
No,
just wanting to be a part of each other's lives. Go ahead.
And I think I'm not trying to like toot our own horn, but
Okay.
a lot of
Toot it, girl.
a lot of the staff are not from here. You know what I mean? Like their families are all kind of spread out. Like the Kilmans are spread out, upstate. middle of the state. Sims are all upstate. Livs is all in North Carolina. Samantha has, she does have some here, her dad, and but she's from Maryland. Go Terps. Pastor Cliff, like all of them. Like, trying to think. Scott doesn't have family here. Angie has family here. Joseph and Becca have family here close by. But I think we've just done a good job of making sure that they're kind of like, parental with most of them. Like, hey, come to eat with us. Hey, like, we're going to do this. Like, just trying, not to protect them, but just always, I feel like when they first started, just to try to include them in everything. Because to me, I feel like if you are staff, especially in a church environment, like, I feel like you need to be family. Because I feel like you need to have that good camaraderie for the church to run as smoothly as it can, instead of there always being tension or, oh, but this or this. I feel like if you are family, there's tension, but you can, with family, you can kind of just quickly get over it, and it's not like a burden, or you don't hold a grudge.
We've done a good job of opening up our life and giving the staff access to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Refrigerator rights.
Like all of that little bit was my big bit came to your little bit, and they all said, yeah. Yes, me.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened?
No,
Nothing, Bing.
Dang.
we have done a good job of giving access, and we have been available.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that they all the time want us.
I know. I wish they did though.
I know, but we have always been available, and I think that's something that we've done well.
Yeah, for sure.
We have.
They're our family.
They are our
Even though our family lives here, they're
our family.
I mean, I've done six Easters now. Every Easter lunch has been the
Or
Raven,
Mother's Day
the
or-
Raven Easter lunch,
Raven
because
family, let's
my
go,
family
come
would
on.
normally have it, but I don't. So, so then you guys have just. I think it wasn't even a month we've been here. So you guys were like, "Hey, come do this with us," and I was like, "All right, cool." So it's just now.
Johnny was the first one there this
Yeah,
year.
I'm like, "Welcome, everybody, come on in."
and it's not just that availability is to everyone.
Right.
And it's one of those things where Sim's been invited, and Sim went through a big thing with his small group where they all were out of towners, and so they were all getting together for those special days.
I love that.
Which is awesome.
That's
Yeah,
great
it's
for a small
amazing. It's
group,
what small groups should do. But we have been available. We've opened our life up to be available to the staff and whatever they need of us. If it's Mother's Day and your mama's not here, you are welcome. If it's Father's Day, your daddy ain't here, you are welcome to come hang out with us. We are open and available. If it's Friday night and you're bored and you ain't got nothing to do, you're welcome to come hang out with us.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we have done
We try to.
very well,
Unless we're in Disney.
which is
But you can
more
come.
often than not with
You
you.
can come.
And
Always
and
come.
honestly, it's one of those things. A retired minister that comes to church here, he told me about 6 months ago. He said, "Your staff's been with you a long time, or been around here a long time." And he said, he was trying to encourage me, but it also kind of stings you. But he said some of the small church mentality that y'all have carried over to the new facility is still inside of them. And I understand what he's saying. We have some mindsets that we've got to figure out how to break through. But in my prayer closet, I have a saying written on my wall, and I texted it to y'all a couple years ago. But it's a saying that I think about often. It's those who danced with you, those who were with you in the drought deserve to dance with you in the rain. And the people who have been a part of this ministry in seasons where nobody wanted to be a part of this ministry deserve to dance with you in seasons that everybody's looking at and saying, wow, man, things are amazing around there. And I look at our staff and I'm like, every single one of these people, minus 4 or 5, have walked through drought seasons with us, have been in seasons where nobody else wanted that or should have taken that or should have stayed through that or whatever it may have been. I mean, Samantha came on at the worst possible time ever. And I was dying with COVID, and then on top of that, literally, and then on top of that, trying to move into this new facility, and it was like, your job's community, and yet, except for scratch that, I need you to be a construction worker as well, and all the things. But prior to Samantha coming on staff here, she's a vital part of a Saturday night service that we were trying to get up and running. Prior to, Johnny and Christy moved here, and, they say it, I don't say it, they say it. I'd rather go be a usher, opening the door in a ministry like that than to be in the season that we're in now. And so, but the flip side is, you come here and it's not like we're, gangbusters and things. There have been tough seasons, tough droughts that we've walked through. And I think the beauty of what God has done inside of our staff is we have people that have been through some drought seasons together. And we've been able to walk through those drought seasons and say, hey, better days are coming. Brighter days are coming. Good rain is on the way, There's a new thing coming. Right. Yeah, rain is on the way, and it's okay. It's okay. We can make it through the drought because brighter days are coming. And those who have been with you in the drought deserve to dance with you in rain. I have so many pastor friends who will get rid of Bob because Fred's coming up and Fred's more talented, but yet Bob's been there for 10 years, but Fred's more talented. And I'm not doing that. I am a loyal dog, and I'd rather have less talent and loyalty than to throw out people that have walked through drought seasons with you to try to find somebody who's supposedly better. They're not better. Better is loyal and, the relational side of what we have.
Yeah, I think for me, the drought seasons and the tough times and the construction days and the long nights and the living out on the grounds and all of the history and I talk about this to other people as well, this place is a part of me.
Yeah.
Like I know you started the church and I wasn't here for the beginning, and I know Tony's been here from day one and Maddie and Kimberly and all that, but I was like, I got my hand on it. Like this is a part of me, and if I was to ever do that, I would lose a part of myself. That's why when people ask me if this is where I'm gonna be for the rest of my time or whatever, I was like, yeah, I don't really see myself leaving to do anything else. Shut up. But for real, I have been here for over 10 years, and I have given literal blood, sweat, tears, and a decade of my life to this. Why would I walk away?
Agree completely.
And not I see fruit now. I see fruit of labor now, which is really cool. But I in me, within myself, I see that there's still more fruit left to find and left to grow. Why would I walk away after giving so much of my life to something and not be able to see the finality of that? Now, maybe step aside and let somebody else who is more talented. I think that's the other side of the conversation, is that if I'm a loyal dog and if I own my part in this, that there comes a day that I am not who I need to be,
For
that
sure.
I'm not the gift that I once was to this house, and that instead of walking away, that I step aside and say, okay, it's the so and so's turn,
Yeah.
you know, but I still want to be a part, you
Right.
know, but at the same time, like I think there's such a beautiful aspect of staying somewhere and being planted and being a part of the family and committing to the family, and then putting in 10 years of your life and seeing the fruit and not wanting to walk away.
Because when you're committed, it makes hard conversations less hard.
Yeah.
You know?
You should have fired me a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
This whole couch, I should have fired a lot.
Yeah.
No. But like it, because I'm committed to you and you're committed to me,
Yeah,
we can have hard conversations.
absolutely. We have had
We have had hard conversations
Yes.
because I'm not walking away wondering, is he walking out, and you're not walking away wondering, is he going to fire me? Because you know I'm committed to you.
Yeah.
You're committed to me.
He ain't done it yet.
He ain't done it yet, and he had a lot of good reasons, you know? And so to me, then, hard conversations become easier.
Absolutely.
So when me and Christy fight and have hard conversations with each other, I have hard conversations, and she
Cries.
cries. when that happens, you can walk away and get in the car, and she goes, "Oh, Johnny, Pastor Jamie hates me," and Johnny goes, "Christy, come on, seriously."
It's something
I
like
hate those
When-
moments.
When
Like, just pick my side for one time. And he's always so neutral. So dumb.
because that's probably where the truth lies.
Oh, absolutely. I'm usually high emotions, like, think way too hard and deep about things. That's me. Overprocess it.
But this is what we do. Your son comes out, SMA. Oh no, y'all have got to be in a bubble. So what do?
Building off the
Build a
bubble.
bubble.
Build a bubble for y'all.
Yeah.
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 We rearrange everything from Sunday services to where you work in the office. We built y'all a room with a play area, and we cut off bathrooms from everybody else's life and
Sorry,
made this
Simeon.
awesome room for y'all to where y'all could your own special entrance with your own code, so you didn't even have to use. I mean, we had it set up for y'all.
You did.
I even
Yeah.
bought
It was so amazing that I took it over after the bubble.
That's
It
right,
is a
yep.
great
I
fit.
commandeered it. Is that what you
What are
said?
those
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
great
The
word.
hazmat.
Yeah,
I bought
hazmat suits.
hazmat suits just so I could get near the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Covered and head to toe zipped up.
yeah, used her hazmat suit and just wouldn't let the baby go then. It was like, oh my gosh. I remember one day we went to the beach and we were sitting like 6 feet apart from them. And you could just tell Christy was exhausted. And she just walked over and handed you the baby.
And I was like,
And everybody's like, what's happening? Johnny's like, what is happening? I don't know.
Shh, don't tell MUSC.
don't watch
I think
this.
we're
But
past that.
that
Yeah, we're
that
past that.
shows my commitment level to you. So whenever you wonder oh no, Pastor Jamie's gonna kill me, he's so mad at me, I'm like, no, I'm gonna build your room. So we're gonna do. We're gonna work through this. We're gonna build your room. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna, oh, he's so mad at me. He's gonna. No. We're gonna. Do I get frustrated? Yeah, absolutely about things, of course. But we're gonna work it out. We're committed to each other long term.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a huge difference inside of the hard conversations and the difficult moments inside of ministry.
Yeah, I think you're talking as a pastor to us. I think it's the same way from us to you. When we have difficult conversations we have to have with you, it makes it a whole lot easier because we know the relationship that we have with you. So I know instead of, oh no, Pastor Jamie's going to kill me because of this, I know this is a hard conversation, but I know we're going to get through this conversation. We just have to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I don't have to just like keep it in the dark. And then whenever it comes to which is super unhealthy, super toxic for a staff to feel like, oh no, I'm not saying this because if I know I say this, I'm going to get fired, so I'm just going to hide this until it comes up in this meeting, and then hopefully they show grace on me or somehow we work through it. Or like if it's corporate, it's like, oh, you get written up because of this thing that happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there's that two-way street there for support staff.
And we have procedure and policy in place that we follow. So it's not like it's just this free willy-nilly do whatever you want to.
Right.
No, there's high expectation. There's high levels of accountability.
Yeah.
There's looking at you and saying, why is your work not done? There's hard conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we can do that and still walk away in unity with each other and be committed to each other long term.
Yeah, absolutely. We can get frustrated on Thursday, have a hard conversation, and then go eat at King Kong Sushi on Friday.
I was just gonna say to that and to what we've been talking about. I think we just, no matter what, try to have fun. Like, I think working here is fun, and what we do with each other, we just try. We joke with each other. We just have fun. And so I think about even when we mess up, because we've all messed up, really, really bad mess ups too.
Speak for yourself.
And
All right, Bing.
this couch also probably has had moments as well. But in that, there's a joke behind it. You know, the wasabi card that you created, Johnny created.
Y'all are welcome.
That lessens the blow a little bit when we come to you and say, I have to use this wasabi card. Like, please show grace in this moment.
Me and Johnny have set the standards really high for y'all.
Y'all are welcome.
Thank you.
But behind that is humor, and like, we may not be laughing in that moment, but we know, okay, wasabi card, okay, yeah. But there's that moment we can point back to, laugh about it later, but
Samantha, I walked into hers and she just did like this with her wasabi card.
She took other people
She was asking
and turned them
She
in.
said, "Mine's so bad. Can I borrow y'all's wasabi
It's
cards?"
like, if you haven't used it, give it to me because I need it. I need all of them. I think I had like 12
she created a gift basket.
Gift basket of wasabi cards, and I just walked into her office and she just handed them, head bowed, handed them to me.
There's no shame in that. You should have.
I thought, I'll probably never have to use this. I did.
You did.
I did.
You certainly did.
I
God
did.
is good.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that I think that we've done throughout the years, like, that other people look and think, that's miserable. What you have to do, like, that's miserable. This is hard. Like, all the chairs in there and laying carpet and doing any sort of construction stuff. But there's no group of people that I'd rather do it with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, y'all make it fun. It might be the most miserable thing. We might be
That carpet.
sticking our hand into a toilet, but there's nobody else I'd rather do it with.
Chairs were miserable. Sam always says, when he got to the end of chairs, he said, "Pastor, remind me of this moment. I don't care whatever you throw at me. It will never be as miserable as these chairs were." So there's been moments I've had to challenge him on that. Sam, was that playground worse than those chairs? No, chairs were worse. Chairs were worse. I'm like,
It's the
"All
only
right."
time I've ever seen him bleed was from the chairs. I didn't know if Sam bled or not.
himself
but
up.
Yeah.
I saw him
Yes, he
bleed
did.
there.
He
Oh,
Gosh,
man.
sounds good.
Well, I will say that, like, I've been here for 6 years now. I've seen us at 350 people, and now I'm seeing us here at 15, whatever the number is. And one thing I've always
15,000?
15,000 people.
No, we're not.
Like, oh wait, no, okay. But I call it hallway talk. We at the beginning it was me, you, PT, and Sim, just in a hallway on Thursday, as we're getting to the weekend, or just for some reason.
Good
But
times. That was
still,
a small hallway.
there's times those happen where somehow we all get in a hallway at one time, and whether it's something serious that's being talked about, or whether it's just a funny moment where everybody just joins in around the metaphorical cooler, we have those conversations, and it's not so corporate that we can't have moments like that. And so I appreciate moments like that where, like, it's a joke. Sometimes I'm like traveling around the office.
yeah.
Just find out what water cooler has people around.
I literally did that to Maddie today. I think I just
He
scratched
did.
my back on her door
He
frame.
did. He went.
Like,
He's like, I was done a task, so I just figured I'd walk around and then stood in my doorway.
See if anybody's having a
Yeah.
conversation.
Scratched his back.
so I've always appreciated that part of it, no matter how far we've
yeah.
gotten in ministry.
I like that we have open, like, door policy. Like,
Yeah.
well, one person will end up in somebody's room, and then one person walks in and is like, "Oh, hey, what y'all doing?" And then there's like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
People are sitting on the floor, sitting on thing, and then we just start talking and hanging out, and it's just it's a nice environment.
And then I walk by and say, "Get back to work. What are y'all doing?"
We don't
Yep.
listen, and we just keep talking.
I listen.
I listen.
I do.
Just shut the door.
Certain
Block
few
them
who do
out.
that.
It's okay.
I'm not one.
There's only a couple people around here who can do that. Not listen. They all got the last name Barfield too.
True.
Oh,
But I do love the
hate
open
that.
door
I'm sorry.
policy. We think something's wrong if someone has
If
their
the
door
door's
closed.
shut. I
We're like,
know.
"Are you okay? Are you
Yeah,
okay? Or
Samantha,
are
I
you
mean,
you
that's
okay?
Samantha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you just trying to get work done?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yesterday,
I
check on
appreciate
people.
that. I appreciate people who close their doors to make phone calls. I cannot because I don't have service in
I
my
ain't got no
office.
service in my
but-
office. I have to walk outside to make phone calls.
I can in mine. I'm
Yeah.
good. But yeah, like I feel like because we are such a tight knit group, and because we do know each other, like ins and outs, and what irks us and what doesn't, and because we are around each other so much, we have learned each other's body language. So it's really cool. Like I know that if the light is out, the main light is out in Samantha's office, and she has her little light turned on, and like her door is shut with the light off, she either has a migraine
Yeah.
or she ain't having a good day.
Yeah.
So I'll knock and see if she says anything, and I'll peek, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yep, I was just making a phone call." Or she sits there drinking her water bottle, and I'm like, "Okay, we're going to talk. Okay, I'm going to come in and shut the door. What's going on?" You know, like just
therapy
all those,
session.
little therapy sessions. I love that as a staff and as a group, I feel like we are each other's own safe place
Yeah.
where we can talk and we can have those conversations that you can't have with other people. One, because we're staff and we feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just blab your stuff out, whatever, to everybody. But that we are each other's safe places, that we can have real, like, deep conversations. Like, if we're not doing well mentally or physically, or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's okay that we are allowed to, we
And-
can talk about it.
And on top of that, we also know the rules. And so there's times where, let's say whoever it is, doesn't matter. A boy and a girl are talking in the office. We all know the rules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not, you can be Samantha's safe place,
Right.
but Johnny can't be Samantha's safe
No.
place.
No,
You know what I
God,
mean?
no.
And so because we all know the rules, then it makes it very easy to step in and go, hey, you know what I mean? And just stop and have
Yeah.
conversations
Yeah.
to break up anything that feels awkward or may look awkward.
Sure.
Because we all know we're all playing by the same rule book.
Yeah.
Maddie did tell me the other day, whenever it was said that I stacked her team, she did say the other day that I am sick of you treating me differently than everybody in the office. I want you to start treating me like everybody else. And
Just
I
during
said,
that time. Just
That's
during
a
that
lot.
I
time.
was about
and
to
I
say.
You don't want
said,
that.
You don't want
not
that.
a
You gotta
chance.
deal with
I am
that.
treating you like everybody else. You are my princess, and I will treat you however I want to.
Because the
and
consequences of treating her like that,
Correct.
like everybody else
Preach
at
it.
home,
Come on,
stuff, bro.
No.
it ain't worth it.
Mm-mm.
It ain't
That was
worth
one of my
it.
favorite moments of Staff Olympics. We're getting ready for a game. You'd explained it, and then people were like trying to ask, loopholes of the rules.
Yes.
Someone raises their hand and they're like, "Can I ask a stupid question?" You're like, "No more questions." Maddie says, "I have a question." You said, "I'll take your question." That was my favorite part.
It's true. It's true. So, anyways, thanks for hanging out. Love y'all. Appreciate you. And to the pastor out there that's struggling with the staff, it was
Be friends with them.
I had misery at times in my ministry with staff members, and I would say find people that you can be unified with, find people that you can be on the same page with spiritually, find people that you enjoy being around, and pull those people in, because it's going to make you want to come to work every day.
Yeah.
And I want to come to work every day.
Absolutely.
So,
Amen.
all right. Love y'all. Peace out. Let's go.
Bing, bing.